Huh?
You gotta get rid of those palm trees. I came by yesterday. The ones that are out front.
Oh.
They're like blocking the sign a little bit. Like your bond thing.
Oh.
They're like blocking a little bit. I'd like really look for it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean you can see it on like
Right.
maps and stuff, but like
But okay, I'll talk. The building is owned by a Jew, so it's not easy.
yeah.
I may have to cut them down myself.
It's crazy to find this church like in a, if I was trying to find like a godly church, I would never think, I'll think like Montana or Utah, like where you don't really
The
think
white country, white states.
No, you just like look at, like I was walking around downtown, it's just kind of like, just crazy with all the different stuff. You never think like a church like this would be here, in a place like this, but.
Yeah. Hey. It's crazy that you're here, man.
Yeah, I had to come visit you at least one time.
Yeah.
For so long, so.
Jan, you remember talking to? Oh, where's Hake? Oh, he's working. No problem. Hake is working. Okay. So I'm standing today. Everything look right? So I can't walk past these, right?
Yeah, you're still seeing there. Can't walk past there.
Oh, okay. That's Francisco over there. You heard Francisco voice?
Oh, yeah. That's one of the distinct voices. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he a Mexican.
Right. You want to not have it?
See how behind the scene we have a white man running everything?
Okay.
You probably thought we were running it, huh?
Or none of it? Or none of it, yeah.
Still got Hamler.
We got a white man. Jan, you remember seeing him on the Skype?
Maybe so. Looks familiar.
Yeah.
But all whites,
Yeah.
Is that all of it? I haven't caught up yet. There. A little bit more.
This your first time here?
Yes.
What, James?
I said complicated business.
Right. Yeah, like moving a chair. Making sure the chair in the right place. Sometimes on the fallen state, they have to have bright lights behind us. If I have black gas, because we fade into the color. You can't see us on camera. Isn't that a mess? Huh? So we are sitting on the couch, right? We just sit here. And then it's so black behind us that you can't see us. Good morning, welcome to Fellowship. I'm Jesse Peterson. Thank you all for being with me. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line, and Hake will pass your questions and comments on to me. I do appreciate it. Good morning, y'all, again. Morning. How's everybody? So I need to explain, I'm standing today for a couple of reasons. Number one, I can finally see out of this eye again. So I wasn't standing before because I didn't want to trip over anything. And number two, when I wasn't working out, you can see my belly when I when I sit. So you can't really see it now. And number three, you can move about and get exercise. So I'm standing today. All right. What else? Today is Hake's birthday, so we cannot leave here without singing happy birthday to Hake. And Hake is the host of the HakeReport.com, one of the experts on the show, and crazy about his birthday. It lasts a whole year. He was like telling me this morning, Jesse, and I thought it was all serious. He's like, I hate to tell you. I'm like, what is it? I hate to tell you. I'm like, what is it? It's my birthday. But we celebrated the birth last week. But he white. So any questions? I know y'all don't have questions, but I'll ask. Ask. Yes.
Is there anything to make of dreams, particularly like super vivid dreams?
Yeah. You either have indigestion or you have indigestion and you lost in your mind with the devil.
You should not have dreams.
No. He asks you to have dreams. You should sleep like a baby at night. And if you have dreams, you're not sleeping. You're unconscious and you have a nightmare the same way you have it today. Why did you think you should have dreams?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't think? Oh, okay. Did you have a dream and you thought it was important?
I didn't think it was important. It was just super vivid, and that's unusual for me.
Oh. And you thought it from God?
No, not this one. Definitely not.
Oh, okay. Anybody else? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Nice.
I have a question, yeah.
Okay.
I was wondering about like developing faith. Like I realized I don't really have faith in God. You hear like the stories about like the disciples and getting dragged through the streets and all this crazy stuff, and they never renounced Jesus or anything like that. And I'm still dealing with the fear, and I realize because I don't have really like faith in God, so.
And tell me your first name, just.
Joseph.
And this is your first time here, right?
Yes.
Amazing. So you realize you don't have faith in God,
Yes.
and your question is what?
How to develop that to like have faith.
That's a good question. The young man behind you want to respond first. You have faith in God.
I do.
You do?
I do.
Did you say you do?
I do, yes.
And so how did you develop the faith in God?
I'm not sure how I developed it, but the willingness to watch myself continuously or do the silent prayer and not knowing it's going to work or not is faith in God to me. So just that willingness to keep observing my emotions and thoughts is my form of faith. And to do it continuously is devotion, I think. So.
Okay. Interesting. He want to respond, jumping up and down to respond. You have faith in God?
Yes.
And how do you know you have faith?
God provides me with everything I need.
So what now?
God provides me with everything I need.
And that's how you know you have faith? Oh, okay. Amazing. The young lady in the back want to respond, and then I'll put my 2 cents in. You have faith in God?
I would like to think so probably not, but I do. I have amnesia, so I'm sick.
You have what?
Amnesia.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
for sure. No, okay, all right. You have faith in God? And how do you know you have faith in God?
How do I know I have faith in God? Because I realize that I have faith.
I'm sorry?
Because I realize I have faith. That's how I know.
Oh, okay. What do you mean by that?
Well, it took a while to come to that conclusion. So that's why I say I realize. Because there's been many examples of me letting go because of the fact that I have faith. And that would
okay.
be the only way I could do a lot of what you're talking about, actually.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Yes, Joel.
Do I have faith? Yes,
You have faith in God?
I do.
And how do you know you have faith in God?
Just based off of what I've seen in my life, I've seen that God is real, and I know what He's done for me. So there's just no doubt that it's real or that he's real. So,
What has he done for you?
I mean, just how I've grown in my life in general, or things that I've realized, or yeah, stuff like that.
Amazing. That's a good question, man. This young lady dying to respond. You have faith in God?
There was a time when I would have answered yes to that. However, now I would say I don't have faith in God, nor do I not have faith in God, because it depends on the circumstances. Like if I don't know what the future holds, so I'm not sure, depending upon the circumstances, if I could say I have faith. For me, everything hinges on the silent prayer. And my faith is in that, and being present and doing the silent prayer causes me to be present with God and causes him to direct me. So I don't think about having faith at all any longer. I used to, but I don't think about it.
And so you don't have faith, or you do have faith?
I don't have faith, and I wouldn't say I have faith, nor would I say that I don't have faith. I don't even know what that means.
One.
Well, I don't know what it
What
means.
the?
Well, I could have faith, for example, in that, I'm going to sit down in this chair, and this chair is going to be stable to hold me. However, if something that I would deem devastating were to happen, I'm not sure what that would, I'm not sure. I don't know about that.
So you don't know if you have faith or not in God?
I honestly don't. And like I said, there was a time when I would have answered resoundingly, absolutely, I have faith. But I don't really know what that even means anymore, to have faith. So
Amazing. The young lady behind you, she want to respond. Yes. Do you have faith in God?
I would say yes. Right now, I'm kind of questioning everything. So every time there's a question, I'm like, what does that really mean, having faith in God? So I can say that I know God exists. I don't know if that's the same as having faith in God.
So do you have faith in God, or you don't?
I would say yes.
Oh, okay. But you just said I would say I don't know if I have faith in God.
Well, because I'm questioning what faith really is.
Oh. So you don't know if you have faith or not?
I'm going to say yes, I do.
Okay. All right. And yes, Nick. I didn't see your hand, right? Oh, okay. What made you ask that question? Hold on for the mic.
Just the thing that we're talking about, like during our counseling things about like dying and stuff, and I have fear of dying, and it's just starting to get a little crazy, because I kind of realize like what I am now, and it's just kind of just crazy, and I keep like snapping myself out of it, thinking that like I'm in control, and I learned that's because I don't have faith in God, that just vanity. So.
And you say you fear dying?
Yes.
And why?
Well, I think it's just, everything that, since finding your church and stuff is just, thinking about myself. And when you're talking about dying, and when you say you need to die, well, who is the thing that's dying? And I kind of realized that it's just kind of crazy, and even though I know I'm still in hell, it's like a weird comfortability that to believe in self, and just kind of learning like what belief in self really even means. And so it's just kind of hard to let go of that, because I've been living it my whole life, So it's starting to get to that point where it's like, like what giving up really entails.
Yeah.
And so.
Amazing. Francisco, you have faith in God?
I do.
And how do you know you have faith in God?
Well, I let go and things kind of work out. It's just kind of I'm starting to understand things like that, how the world works, and the more I let go, the more
Let go
I
of
trust. Trying to make life happen, trying to do things, trying to be things.
what? Amazing. Okay. Amazing. I want to come back to that. It's a very interesting question. All right. I wanted to talk about America, but I think I'll move on to something else. I want to ask, how do I want to go with this now? You threw a rock in the pond and now the water's splashing. Let me deal with the biblical question first. How many of you have hope? You know about the biblical question, right? Some people wave it like this. Hey, you have hope? Go to hate for me.
I'm not sure. I kind of think that I do, but I think that I forget it. You know how you say the greatest sin is to forget?
Right.
I think that I forget that I have hope, but
Oh,
I
you
think
do?
I do have hope.
You think you forget you have it, but you think you do have it?
Right.
Amazing.
Like it's there deep down maybe, but I forget it. And so, and what that means is my answer was until maybe today that no, I don't have hope.
Okay.
And that's because, if you want me to explain.
No.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That I give in, like I act as if to heck with it, that type of thing. So that's like a sign of no hope.
Oh, okay.
Like, the Bible says God made man upright, but man is chasing after many things.
Yeah.
And so instead of seeking God and seeking first that stuff, the kingdom, I'm like chasing after other things, and that's a sign of no hope.
As long as you've been working on this, why are you still doing that? Chasing after many things.
I think that it's not like I'm not serious.
Oh.
I think that's what it is. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Right here in the black. Did I see your hand?
Yes.
You have hope?
Yes,
And why do you say you have hope?
because I know that evil won't prevail and God's will always be done. So, yes.
And how do you know that?
How do I know that?
Yeah.
It's in the Word. And
It's in the Word.
It's in the Word.
I was talking about the Bible. I was telling the guys today in the back that when I was growing up, all my life growing up, I never had a Bible. No one ever gave me a Bible. No one ever offered me a Bible. And I think the only person I knew that had a Bible was maybe my grandmother. It was all dusty over there in the corner. Because it was a big Bible, so she never took me to church or anything. And we never read the Bible at home. The only time we would read the Bible would be one Sunday out of the month. We would have church one time a month. And they would have Bible class just before the regular church service started. And we would have to read the Bible along with the Bible teacher. But that's the only time I read the Bible. Isn't that amazing? And I get out here and everybody and their mama read the Bible. The Bible is like a big deal. And everybody just nutty. But they know the Bible. Isn't that crazy? Never grew up having to read the Bible. Amazing. Anyway, just for the record. Yes. That's it?
Yeah, I don't really have any evidence to kind of let you know, because how can you prove God?
Right.
So, yeah, I'm going to just leave it at that. I ain't got nothing else.
All right. Amazing. Yes, sir.
I think the
You have hope?
absolutely, but the biblical question is connected to your first question you asked today about faith.
Do you have hope?
Yes, because I have faith.
You have hope because you have faith.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And what is hope?
So I hope that I can get to a better place.
That you can go to a better place?
No, get to a better place.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm working on. That's what I hope.
And what is the better place?
Out of the fallen state, out of hell. There's a better place beyond hell.
Speaking to the microphone.
There's a better place beyond hell. And that's where my hope comes from.
Oh, okay.
I just hope I can stick with it.
Amazing. Nice. Okay. The young man in the white shirt, you have hope?
Yes, I have hope.
And how do you know you have hope?
Because I haven't given up yet.
On what?
Just life, like the choices, like the choices that I'm making. Like I'm not making good choices or right choices, but
Right.
like I know the choice that I can make to prevent me from going down a darker path. So, and I'm not choosing that, taking that path.
Do you still make choices?
Yes.
And why?
Like I'm still in the fallen state, I guess. I mean, I'm working on it. I'm
You
getting
work-
better. I'm getting better.
Right. Nice. Why don't you just stop making choices?
I don't know. I think it comes with time. Like are you saying like a cold turkey, like just like like the choice that
A
like
cold turkey or a hot turkey? Or
like yeah, like
why don't you just stop making choices?
because that's difficult.
Why?
Because if that was the case, I feel like I would have like be in a better place if I was able to just make that decision like that, just to stop,
So why don't you stop making them if you feel like you'll be in a better place?
Because I guess Satan still has control over me, but like I'm getting better, I'm doing a silent prayer. I'm not really consistent, but I do want to get out of my hell. So
And you're not consistent with the prayer?
no,
And why not?
probably just laziness. Yeah,
So you still kind of love your hell?
man. Yeah. I still kind of love it, but I don't love it.
You're not in love with it.
I'm not in love.
You just kind of love it.
I love it a little bit, yeah. But
Right.
I'm trying.
I got you. Right
trying,
on.
yeah.
Okay. In the black shirt, do you have hope? The biblical question.
I thought about it all week, but I couldn't get to an answer.
You couldn't answer it?
No.
Oh, okay.
But since we talked about faith a lot, I was thinking about that word more.
You have
And
faith?
I think I have faith versus hope.
And why do you think you have faith?
Like intellectually, if I were to answer that, I'll say like God has got me to this point thus far. But if I really think about why do I have faith, it's because I'm able to let go and just see what happens. I think that tells me that I have faith. I'm not trying to control stuff as much anymore. I'm just
Right.
gonna see what happens. And I think if you really are able to see what happens, you kind of have some faith.
Oh, okay.
That's how I
Are
look
you a millennial?
I am, yeah.
If somebody gave you $6 million, would you spend it in 20 years? Huh?
You say how long will too late?
Oh.
How's that different?
How the question went?
Because you tell them, you say how long will it last?
Oh. So I shouldn't ask how long, but
You say if you had 6 million, how
would
long
you
would
spend
it
it in 20 years?
How long would it last you?
Oh.
Yeah, because then it just puts in the mind that he's like, it already gives him an answer.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
If you had $6 million, how long would it last you?
How long would it last me? I'm not sure, but I'm a little frugal with money. Like I don't, I'll only spend it when I really need to.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I'll probably sit on it for a while until I figure out what to do with it. Yeah, I'm like, maybe 5 years ago I would go buy a Lambo and do all that stuff people think is gonna fill the void, but
Right.
now I probably wouldn't.
This subject came up on the show, and if you had $6 million, how long would it take you before you spend it?
I think it would only take realistically 20 years to spend $6 million in California.
It'll take you 20 years
To spend
to
$6
spend
million.
$6 million
Yeah,
in California.
it'll be gone in 20 years.
And James agreed with that, right, James?
Yeah, maybe even less.
Maybe even less, James said. Isn't that amazing? And Nick, you said it'll last you a lifetime.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at this way I spend right now. Like, I understand the argument that when you have a lot of money, more problems, you got to upkeep it, you got businesses going, it'll last 20 years, but you guys don't got $6 million.
Elon got it. Does that make sense that someone at that age would spend $6 million in 20 years?
When I hear the question, I don't even think, is it only spending? Because if you gave me $6 million, I'd have it for the rest of my life.
Me too.
No doubt about it.
That's what I said.
You know, but it seems like everybody's talking about how you would spend money, but you could invest money. There's all sort. It would last me forever. There's no doubt.
Right. That's the thing I said. I'm like, $6 million, it would last me the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Can I say one thing real quick about?
Yeah.
It seems like faith is in the present moment, and hope is in the future.
Oh, okay.
So when I have faith, like now, like I talked about observing myself, watching myself, and hope seems to be a thought about the future.
Oh, okay.
And it also dawned on me that if there was no way out of our current hell, that this world would be hell, truly hell. But for now, it's just like a purgatory,
right,
or something. So
interesting. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a real mess. The young man want to respond to the biblical question behind you. Do you have hope?
Well, I haven't had much time to think about it, but I would say, yeah, I do have hope.
And how do you know you have it?
Well, because I think that, well, if you mean hope as in like things can end up okay in your life or in the world or something. Yeah, I think it's possible, and I think that people can change and that an individual can make better decisions. So in that sense, yeah, I think I would say I have hope.
Are you working on yourself?
Yes, I am.
You are?
Uh-huh.
And what is it like working on yourself?
Well, it's very challenging, and there's times when you lose your hope, and then other days when you have more hope. So I guess it's just about getting through those days that you don't have hope, and then coming back and regaining your hope.
So you lose it sometimes?
Well, you can get discouraged, or you could start to feel like you don't have it, and then you need to work past those thoughts and those feelings and just continue and just keep working on yourself, and then...
So have your wife backed off?
Yeah, to a certain extent.
Not all the way?
Not all the way, no.
And how do you deal with her now when she not all the way yet?
Well...
Do you stand up to... Go ahead.
Well, I guess I'm trying to figure that out.
How to deal with her?
Uh-huh.
You trying to figure... What is it that you're trying to figure out?
Well, I guess how to work on myself and also to support her in her efforts to work on herself.
You can't support her.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe then that's the lesson, is just to back off, and I'm doing my thing, she's doing her thing, and we can, we can be peaceful and live our daily life, but
that
maybe
ain't
just
happen.
to...
You can hang that one up.
Well, we can get through each day.
But you can't help her. She got to work on herself.
Uh-huh.
And only God can help her if she stays with it. So don't try to help her work on herself. Now, if you see her acting crazy and screaming and carrying on, you should
bring
her, remind her she's crazy. But you can't help but work on yourself.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing to remember.
Yeah, that's amazing, huh? Yeah, so don't try to help her. All right,
Sorry.
amazing. Yes, sir.
Well, if I had the money, first of all, I would spend it pretty quickly, maybe in the first few years, or invest it, because the price of the dollar is just constantly going down. So the longer you hold on to it, the less it's going to be valued. I'm saying if you have cash, so your 6 million is going to trickle down.
So you would have spent it really fast?
Well, I would probably stop working and research how to actually maintain and manage money,
You would stop working?
and then find a way to keep working.
Did you say you would stop working?
Well, to take a break and to do research on what I'm dealing with all of a sudden. So it's like, I got all this money, what am I going to do? I don't want to do it foolishly. You know, people are going to call you and ask to
He'll
donate.
be broke real soon. Whenever they say I'll stop working, that means they'll be broke soon.
No, but I would go back to work. I would set
I'll
myself
say
up.
like, look at all this money. You don't
run
have
my
to
own
work.
business, like whatever. You know, I didn't mean stop working and never work again.
Oh, okay.
That's the long-term plan you guys have with your 6 million. Oh, I wouldn't spend it because
Oh,
when you
okay.
think you got this big amount, you're gonna do less. I would think.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. And as far as hope goes, I don't have hope. I think
You
hope,
don't have it?
Hope is kind of like you have that through desperation, and you want to control life to come to your agenda. I hope this happens, and it's all for your own benefit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's God's, like any situation you come through life, it just happens and keeps going. You don't have to make a choice. You don't have to decide. You don't have to hope for anything, because whatever's happening is going to happen either way. It doesn't matter if you hope or not. It's
okay.
an act of desperation.
Interesting. Okay. The young lady want to respond. Yes.
Do I have hope? I don't think I do.
And why do you say you don't?
Well, I think it's like an emotion, and I think it's something that I've said flippantly a lot. I think it's more of a conversational word that I hope that works out for you. I hope this, and I've noticed like when I'm in a bind in my life, it becomes like a wrestling match. Like, well, now I can see what it is. It's Satan telling me a bunch of lies, but I think it's more just about being still and being able to see. I don't think I have hope. And I got kind of confused by this question because the verse in the Bible came up, like plans to give you hope and a future.
What?
There's a verse in the Bible, I don't know where it is, I think it's like Jeremiah or something, or Isaiah, like plans to give you hope and a future. And then I was like, why is this saying that? Because the future, doesn't exist. And then, I just kind of just let that aside. But I think my first knee-jerk reaction in life when things are going on is it's not, I guess to the world it would sound negative, but I think it's more for me, like I just need to stop and look versus like having a feeling or an emotion about it, like hope.
Okay.
I don't know, I just think hope. I don't know, my sister and I talk about it all the time because she's got tons of hope.
Oh,
and
she does?
Yeah.
She have a lot of it?
Yeah, like when we talk about anything, it's I hope this, I still have hope, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know. I just don't think I do.
Amazing. The young man want to respond to the biblical question. You have hope?
Yes, yeah, I do.
And where did you get it from?
That I don't know. I guess from...
Well, I didn't mean to laugh.
For being okay. No, it's okay. From being okay in life and staying alive.
Staying alive?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's how you know you have hope?
Yes. That I'm going to be okay. I have hope that I'm going to be okay.
Oh, okay. Let me do this. And then I got two other things. I'm going to move on. All right. I want to ask two people. Who do I want to ask? Right here and right here. What is it like working on your life? What does that look like daily?
It's not pretty.
Is what?
It's not always pretty.
Oh.
I think it's pretty, it's kind of a mess. Like you say, that's a great term. You always say, what a mess.
Yeah,
as soon
what
as
a
I hear
mess.
that, I understand that. Because you start off with, whatever you start off with, whatever your plan is, sometimes that's the mess. Now I forgot what you asked me.
So I asked, what is it like working on your life daily? What does that look like for you?
It can be fun, actually, sometimes. But then sometimes I'm like, wait, what am I doing? I forgot I'm supposed to be working on something. And then I look back and go, oh, if I was supposed to be working on that, then that's a failure. So I think it's a struggle.
Working on your life daily is a struggle?
Yeah.
In what way?
In the traditional sense, the struggle between good and evil within yourself.
And so what is the struggle in working on your life? So give me an example of a struggle.
Okay, so dealing with somebody difficult and not letting them outwit you and get control of your emotions. That can be a struggle.
Okay. And why?
Probably because I'm not always prepared. Sometimes you get caught sideways by things.
So sometimes you're not prepared to deal with difficult people?
Yeah, I'll give you an example. Say you
Yeah.
worked an 80-hour week in the heat. You're already tired, you're hungry, and then that's when they come at you with something silly.
Oh.
It's usually then. It's not after a full meal and you're hydrated and you're looking them in the eyes and you know what's coming.
Okay. And I'll ask you that later because I want to hear from two more other people.
Okay.
What is it like working on your life daily? The reason I asked is because, one of the reasons I asked is because I'm counseling with this person and they've been working on their lives. It's been really, really difficult for them. And for a while they've been alone. The family don't like them anymore. They had no woman, no girlfriend or anything. And it's just been real difficult for them. And so they started saying, oh, it's just so hard. I'm young, I hang out by myself. I don't have anyone to play with. I don't have no woman. I'm like, and so I said, oh, okay. But that's what you want. You want to go through that, right? And they're like, no, yeah, I want it, but it's just too hard. And then time went by, and the more they complained about working on themselves, the more they started to complain. And so then they started telling me, I don't work out in the gym anymore. I don't do the silent prayer anymore. And I'm looking for a woman now at work and everywhere. And then they finally found a woman, and now they're giving up on everything, and now the woman is controlling them. They're like, I was just talking to them yesterday. They're like, Jess, I'm so weak. Everything she wants, I do it. I can't even say no. And if I say no, I feel guilty about saying no. And if I say yes, I feel guilty about saying yes. She is using me, and I know it, but I can't help it. And I had told them, I'm like, look, if you're not ready to take this journey, don't start it. Don't get on it. Just stay in your hell until you're ready to take the journey. Because once you get on the road to taking the journey, if you go back, it's just going to be rough for you. You're going back into hell, and hell is going to be like double trouble. It's going to be worse than the hell that you're trying to leave. And they're like, I see what you mean now. Already it's worse. And they were like, she controlled me. I'm about to give her a key to my house. I'm like, don't do that. They're like, I can't help it because I see she wanted it, and I have to let her in. And I made that point because if you don't want to stay on the journey, don't get on it. Don't start the silent prayer. Just stay in hell until you're really ready to come out. Because when you go back into hell, it's worse than the hell you are leaving. So if you're not ready, don't do it. Really, don't do it. But anyway, what's it like working on you daily?
I find it pretty interesting. It's like watching a good movie or reading a good book. So it's kind of, it's kind of fun in a way. I don't judge myself, so it's like watching a good movie. It's just seeing what
So
what
what
happens.
goes on with you daily that you work on?
Just making sure, just watching my thoughts, making sure I'm not getting caught up in my thoughts and caught up in my like initial emotions or feelings or anything like that. So I think that's the main thing.
Why don't you let yourself die? You ought to just die.
I don't know.
You
I
don't
think
know?
it's I would like to think that it's real simple, but yeah, I'm holding on to some identities that I've developed, throughout my life. I'm still holding on to some of it.
And so the reason you won't just let yourself die is what?
I think I'm comfortable and I don't want to feel like I'm like nothing. I
Oh.
think that's what I'm holding on to. Because if I die, I'll kind of realize that I don't have these identities, or I'm truly no one or nothing.
And you like your identities?
There's something, yeah, to a degree, yes.
Oh, okay. That's amazing. And why don't you just let yourself die?
I think it's because I can't figure out how to do it and still do all the stuff I need to do.
Like what? Like
The responsibilities I have.
Like take your job. You mean like physical things?
Yeah, all the things
Like
that I
work
have to
and
do.
stuff
I'm not
like
going to
that.
be a bum.
I'm sorry?
I'm not going to be a bum, so I have to. It's just hard to understand exactly how to do that and still take care of the responsibilities I have.
Oh, so you're thinking that if you just allow yourself to die, you won't be able to go to work?
Well, it seems like that right now because I'm not really 100% on what you're actually saying.
Right, I understand.
I think I know, but I'm waiting because I know it'll be revealed eventually. I'm not quite there yet.
But right now you have the feeling or the idea that if you let yourself die, you would be able to do your practical work.
That's what I'm thinking, yes. It's not that, well, hold on, let me rephrase that. That's not necessarily true. It's not that I won't be able to. I don't know how to. That's what I'm saying.
You
I
don't
don't
know-
fully understand how to
Oh,
do
how
it.
to die?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Does that make more sense?
Yes,
Yeah.
that helps.
Okay.
Okay. Why don't you just let yourself die?
Because I'm afraid
Of what?
of dying.
And why?
Not to sound crazy, but because I believe that I'm the devil.
You're the devil?
Well, because I learned that it is thoughts and feelings and stuff, but once I experience like what dying really is, I realize it's your whole life. It's not just your thoughts and feelings. It's everything.
Meaning what?
Just all of you.
So you've come close to dying before, right?
Yeah.
Do you mind telling the people that experience?
Yeah. It's really crazy.
Now, do you remember him, Jay? Not yet. Keep talking.
Well, the first time, not about the dying part, but the first time I ever heard you've been talking about it for years, but about the identities. I was at my job and I was like staring at myself in the mirror, and you were talking about identities, and it was like I was like locked into this moment, and the devil like just came out in my face, and my eyes got like extremely bloodshot, and veins were coming out my head, and I just thought I was going crazy. And then I went back to, who I was, or who I used to be, or whatever. And I went back to smoking weed, and that's when I painted my fingernails. And I was just like,
to add to make it clear, he was close to death, right? He saw all this going on, and because he didn't understand it, he went back. He stopped it, and as a result of stopping it, he went back to craziness, painting his fingernails, smoking pot, and just fit there with his friends, or trying to fit in, right?
No, I needed to go back to. Can I say my name or no?
Your first name,
Yeah, I needed to just go back to Joe, because I felt that all that I thought, even just saying this, that I thought that I was, it's a lot deeper than just thoughts. But all that I thought that I was just disappearing, and I was just like, oh, this is getting too crazy. You know, I need to regain some type of control. So like, oh, I want to smoke pot, or I want to paint my fingernails, or whatever. I want to do this, and I was like, I'm done. You know, and after like a month of living like that, I was like, I can't. I'm stuck with this, and not my hell. I mean, like, going down this path, and then the actual dying part was just like any other day. You know, I'm just sitting there doing the silent prayer, and it just felt like all of myself was leaving. You know, just everything. And I thought I was being like possessed or something. Like, I thought something crazy was happening to me, and it was just so crazy. And I just felt like again, with thoughts and feelings and stuff, it is that, but I just felt like all my life was just like leaving my body. And it was just absolutely crazy. And at that point, I genuinely was like trying to find a reason to just stop this and just try to live my life. Because I see my friends and stuff, and yeah, they might be in hell, but they're just living their lives, like, you know, having fun, quote unquote, and doing their thing. And I tried to explain it to my dad one time, and it's like no one around me really understands like what I'm really going through, and I can't really explain it to them anyways because they wouldn't understand it to begin with. So it's just crazy, and I know that I believe that I'm the devil, but it's just kind of crazy just to let go of myself, or what I think is myself, and so yeah.
Well, every human being is the devil. Every human being is a demon, that's for sure. Because they have identified with the devil, so they are the devil. And that's why they do the devil work. They have the same fears, the same doubts, the same worries, the same jealousy and strife and loneliness and all that. So every human being is the devil. And it was the devil that would depart from you. He would die, but you thought it was you, and so you just didn't go all the way with it.
Yeah, it's kind of like you know, like with our counseling things, you know, certain things like you realize and you're like, oh wow, like I didn't know I was this, or you know, like, and just this sentence, if you really kind of pay attention to it, I had to go through some like real pain where I genuinely thought that I was dying pain-wise. But then the real question is, well, who is the one that's feeling that pain?
Yeah.
And once I realized, you know, what I really believe that I am, I've just kind of been hard stuck on like letting go of that, because there is a weird comfortability, even though I am still in hell technically. There is like a weird comfortability believing in self.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Anybody can relate to that? Oh, good. And how can you relate to that, Raymond?
That I am a devil.
Yeah.
By my experience in life and my observing of it, and I find it. I always find myself being coming up short.
Why don't you let yourself just die?
I have thought about it, but
we talk about spiritual death, folks, not physical, just in case.
I have thought about it, and the best way to go about it to be still and know that I can do nothing.
So why don't you let yourself just die?
I know I deserve it. I just don't know
You
how.
deserve what?
To die.
We talk about spiritual, you know that.
Yes,
right?
I know.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
know I deserve to die spiritually. I just don't know how to do it right now.
Okay. And you say you can relate to what he said?
Yeah, it reminded me of something that happened to me when I was younger.
Okay.
I wasn't really trying to meditate. I was just alone and like sitting, and well, I guess I was kind of trying to meditate, and I always thought meditation was like you focus on a point or something, and then you try to have like perfect focus on a point, and then I guess I did the opposite, where I just like all of a sudden was kind of focused on like everything and nothing, and then it felt like just everything was falling apart and falling away, and it terrified me, and I thought it was bad, and so I like shook it off and got up and didn't look back at it. I don't know what to make of it or what it was.
How young were you, remember?
Probably around 13. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
Interesting. Did you have your hand, Francisco? You could relate to what he said?
I can.
In what way?
It's the battle that lies within. It reminds me of that movie Revolver.
No, how
with
can it,
myself.
I'm talking about in your own life, how can you relate to what he just said?
So I have those voices in my mind telling me, hey, that the devil part inside of me trying to convince me, thinking if this is okay, you know, that kind of thing. And then when I listen to them, it's always failure. It's not good. And so I see those, you know, that, because it never stops talking to you. You know?
Okay.
So.
Amazing. Doug, that's in your hand? Can you relate to that at all?
To some degree, I've seen myself as the devil when I was, yeah.
And what did it look like to you?
Hideous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
But
did you do when you saw it?
ran.
Meaning
I
what?
didn't know. I didn't understand it at all. Right. So it was much like him. I just kind of. I think I was high when I seen it. So I just kind of kept doing what I was doing and tried to pretend like it never happened.
Oh, okay. Amazing. The young lady, you could relate to that?
Yeah, completely. And, you know, with these questions that kind of make us feel a little uncomfortable, I think, well, I see that the devil wants us to be trapped in the illusion that we are with him, because...
Let's just deal with you.
Yeah, with me. Because with the whole faith and hope, when I'm not really looking at those things and I'm just like, oh yeah, I have hope and I have faith, it's like this cesspool that the devil wants to keep me in. And when I'm really looking about like, wow, when I'm seeing the evil that is residing, it could kind of make me start thinking like, oh, I am the devil, and I'll start associating with myself and identifying with him.
Yeah.
And then I've even had where I've felt him outside of me. Like it felt like almost like an animal that was outside on the couch. And I just felt paralyzed with fear. And I was just thinking like, okay, you know what? There's nothing I could say. I can't do anything to take this demon away. And I just know like it's only God that can. And it was just like a overwhelming fear within myself. But yeah, it is frightening to look within of what your body is doing, being possessed.
So how are you able to live with her if she's that crazy? What the? Do you drink?
Do I drink?
Uh-huh.
Well, I've been in the past year like cutting back a lot, but yeah, I do drink.
I can see why.
Not regularly though.
No, I'm playing. Amazing, okay. So one more question then, I'm gonna put my little 2 cents in. Do you have amnesia?
No, I rebuke. No amnesia for me.
You don't have amnesia?
No.
And why do you say you don't have it?
What is it?
What?
What is it again?
Amnesia.
Yeah. What does it mean? Like you lose your memory or something?
It means Joel has amnesia.
No.
You don't have amnesia?
No, I don't think I have amnesia. No.
You don't. Why do you think you don't have it?
Well, I'm mostly kind of just joking around because I really don't really know what it is. But if what I think it is like memory loss, and if I don't have it, but I actually really do have it, I think I'm lying, then I got a bigger problem. So I'm just gonna say no.
Okay. Amazing. Francisco, you have amnesia?
No.
And why do you say you don't have it?
I have a memory. I remember what happened yesterday and the day before, and
That's the problem.
yeah.
No, I'm saying. Don't you have amnesia?
I've heard you ask this question before.
Yeah. I asked the ladies this on Thursday night, so I'll come to y'all later in a minute. Yes.
I would say I most certainly do.
You have amnesia?
Uh-huh.
And why do you think you have it?
I mean, like I said, I've heard you ask this question before, so I've heard you.
So
to
you
some
think you
degree
have it
answer
just because I asked the question? But nah.
I think that I was totally different as a kid, a little bit more aware, a little bit more in tune with God, and I don't remember. I mean, there's some things I can remember, but most of it I don't remember, and I don't believe that I am that in tune with God at this point. So yes, I think I have amnesia.
Hassan, you have amnesia?
Yes, sir.
And why do you say you have it?
Because I think remembering stuff is like trauma a lot of times. It's like unforgiving. It's like, so if you really forgive and you're really like good, you don't really remember stuff that much. You just.
Oh, okay.
I think. Because like the first things I remember as a kid were like the first traumatic things. Before that, it's like I didn't really remember anything because it was just like fine.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Yes, Anchor Baby, you have amnesia?
I forget.
Okay.
And you can't really know, right? Because if you had amnesia, you can't really remember what you forgot. You can't know what you already forgot, what's gone. So you can't know. You can't really know if you have amnesia.
Oh, okay. Do you have amnesia?
No.
You don't?
No.
And why do you say no?
I mean, isn't it like a clinical diagnosis? Like I don't have amnesia.
We have to check your doctor's records. So you say no?
No.
Okay. How about you?
Amnesia just means you forget stuff? Is that what it means?
Do you have amnesia?
No, I don't think so.
You say no, you don't have it? Oh, okay.
But,
How about you? Were you about to say something?
Yeah, I was just about like memory and stuff. I noticed during the silent prayer, some old memories will come up that I never thought were bothering or tormenting me that much.
Yeah.
And then when they come up, I'm like, wow, that really bothered me. And then I'll feel the pain. And sometimes it's more intense than others, but yeah, I just wanted to say that the silent prayer brings up memories that I never thought were hurting me like that. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. How about you, sir? You have amnesia?
No.
No? And why do you say no?
Because I have memory.
I'm sorry?
I have memory.
You do?
Yeah.
Like what?
I guess I can recall back to growing up as a younger kid, my path.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm
Is this
stumbling.
your first time here?
Yes.
Oh, welcome. What's your first name?
Alexander.
Welcome. How did you find us?
YouTube.
Right on. Welcome. Okay, so you don't have amnesia.
What?
You
No,
do
joking.
not have. He has amnesia. Okay. Right here. You were not there Thursday night, right?
Who are you talking to?
Right here, the young lady. Hi. It's funny you showed up. I thought about you this week.
Yeah?
And you showed up.
Well, look at that.
Amazing.
What
So
are
do
the
you have
chances?
amnesia?
I wish I did, but I don't think so.
And why don't you have it?
For the same reason that someone mentioned over there, just I have memories that, that I don't know why I can't forget them.
Oh, okay.
Although I seem to forget people's names more easily.
Me too. I would call it Joseph Philip. Isn't that crazy? Oh, crazy. Okay, so you don't have it.
I don't think I have it.
Oh, okay. You have amnesia, Raymond?
No,
And why do you say no?
because I have too many traumatic memories. I don't know how to rise above.
Did you go walking this week?
I did go and walk some, but it was very early in the morning because it's too hot to walk later.
I understand. Yes.
Actually, I will say it seems easier to forget some of the good memories. I find that interesting.
Okay.
Like I'll remember traumatic experiences.
But not good ones.
Yeah, which is so weird. So maybe I do have amnesia.
You probably have it. No play. Hey, hold on. I want to go to the ladies first, because I talked to the ladies about this. Did the ladies talk to you about this? You were not there, but so no one talked to you about it at all.
It's a fresh question for me.
Do you have amnesia?
I think so.
And why do you think so?
I think in the world, like my ego, I have a really strong memory by sound and sight and smell, and it's annoying to a lot of people. But I think spiritually, I absolutely do. I can't tell you how many times I've said, like, I need to be reminded. Why do I always forget this? And I think now, seeing what I can see now, I think it's a classic move of the devil, like to build up how good my memory is and then fog it out with weird memories, good or bad, to have me slip off a track and not remember to be still or whatever the case. But I would say I do have amnesia, for sure.
Okay, amazing. Let me talk to at least a couple of ladies. Do you have amnesia? We brought this up last night, or Thursday night. Do you have amnesia?
I think I'm coming out of amnesia. I think I'm waking up from amnesia, but I do believe that I've had amnesia all my life. And now that I'm on the journey to returning to the Father, I'm waking up from it.
And so do you have amnesia?
No.
You don't have it?
I'm coming out of it. It's like, I guess, yeah, when you're, now that I'm on this journey, I would say no, that I don't have amnesia in a spiritual sense.
So do you have amnesia?
No.
You don't have it?
No.
Okay.
But I've had it.
Do you have amnesia? You thought about this question since Thursday, right?
I have.
And do you have amnesia?
In the physical sense, no. I have a memory like an elephant. But in the spiritual sense, yes.
You have amnesia?
Yes.
And why do you say yes?
I say yes because when I hear something that is absolute truth that I've never heard before, for instance, when I first came upon your message, it instantly resonated with me. So when I hear the truth, God's truth, it immediately resonates with me, even though I've never heard it before. So that indicates to me that I have
Amnesia.
amnesia
Oh,
in the
okay.
spiritual sense.
All right. You have amnesia?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
I never thought about it.
Oh, okay. Amazing. The young lady, you were there Thursday, right? Oh, okay. Do you have amnesia?
Yes,
And why do you say yes?
because I don't know who I am and I forget that I'm on the right path and I'm always going in and out of consciousness. And then there's times I'm like doing things, I think the devil's my dad, and that's not, and I'm like, it's finished, and I keep trying to add things, so it's like someone who has amnesia, it's like
Oh, okay.
Goldie Hawn and Overboard.
What is it like being married to her? I mean, what's that like, though? What does that feel like? What is it like?
What is it like? Well, I mean, like any, we have good times. But I think I do have amnesia because I didn't listen last week, but so I'm just kind of taking this question in now. But yeah, I think I do have amnesia because most of the times when I make the wrong decision, it's like I know it's wrong and yet I do it anyway. Like if it's
Right.
procrastinating or drinking or putting something off or something, it's like I know it's wrong, but then I still do it. So maybe that is a form of amnesia. Or getting bothered by or stressed out by a thought that I know is like irrelevant or not important.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that's a form of amnesia.
Do you think you were under the influence of amnesia when you married her?
Yeah, I think it could be because I was aware of some of the issues that we had and
Yeah.
some of the unresolved things, but we just got married anyway, and but we're still going at it.
I understand.
Not all demons are ugly, right?
That's right. Before I go to Hake, what do you think about this question of an amnesia?
What do I think about it? I don't know what you're really asking, I guess.
I
know. I hear you.
Have amnesia. Now I'm asking, what do you think of the question itself?
I think it's thought-provoking after hearing the number of responses, yeah, about waking up or not ever knowing your true self or, it's interesting.
Okay. Amazing. Hake, oh, yes, sir. You have amnesia?
Yes, I do. I think we all do. I think.
But why do you think you have it?
Well, if we die and we still exist after we die, we must have existed before we were actually born. So we have this pre-existence that we have no idea about. But, and like you say, the teacher is within. It's inside you. You're just unaware of it. So it's there. And we've known it. It's just the world turns us away from it. So we already, like you said, we know the truth within. It's already there. The kingdom of heaven is within. We were there once before. We just don't remember it.
And so that's why you think you still have it? That you have amnesia?
Yeah, working on it, coming out of it, I guess.
Okay. Why do you think you're coming out of it?
Well, it's kind of like how she was saying, when something's revealed to you, just kind of like, it's right. You don't have to like figure it out. It just feels right, and you know it's right.
Okay.
So that is the pre-existence kind of coming through to you, to me.
Okay. Hake, I want to know if you have amnesia.
Yeah, I definitely.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, definitely.
And why you say definitely?
Because I often feel like I'm barking up the wrong tree in life, like I'm missing something that's obvious. And every now and then, like I overhear you talking to callers or saying things to people, and I'm like, oh yeah. And you're saying obvious stuff, but it's basics, like back to basics kind of life.
Yeah.
And I'm like unserious about stuff that I should be serious about, and too serious about stuff that doesn't matter. So I think it's kind of like the hope question, do you have hope? I think I do, but I forget that I have it.
Oh, okay.
If you know, like, and that's what the hopelessness is forgetting, I think.
Oh, okay. Amazing. You have amnesia? You, not him. Hey.
Me?
Yeah. No, you. Well, we know you have it. No, I'm playing.
I don't know how to answer exactly, but I do recall that when I was young, when I was like a little boy, I was unfazed by like the stuff around me, and I'm not like that anymore. So maybe yes.
Okay. Here's what I want. I mean, do what you want, but here's what I recommend. During the week, I want to encourage you all to pay attention to yourself. When you come on Sunday, have something to say. Don't just come to wait for me to say. All right? Because I'm sharing with you what I'm getting, but I'm working on myself. I have to work on myself too, right? And you all just come, you all never have any questions. Or you never have anything to say like, you know what? This week I realized this about myself and I really paying attention and blah, blah, blah. What's wrong with y'all? I mean, not what's wrong with you. I already know what's wrong. You're crazy. No, but it's like you don't come to fellowship. You just come to get. And that's not good. Because as somebody mentioned a teacher, you have a teacher within. And I'm trying to point you to the teacher so you can become an example for the world too. And when we run into others and we get together, we have something to say to one another. And not just intellectually and all that crap. But you got to have, I mean, does that make sense what I'm saying? I have to pull stuff out of y'all. And that's not good. Yes, sir. Did I see your hand? Yes. Oh, okay.
I wanted to ask you, when you say, why don't you just let yourself die? Is it a process as you're dying, or does it just happen like that, like in an instant?
Good question. He want to respond. Joseph want to respond to that. Is it a process, or do you just let yourself die?
It's not necessarily a process. It's like you get to a point where the prayer starts to become your life, and you're like nothing's really bothering you. You kind of just I don't want to say invincible, but you're kind of just like going about your day, and then I'm just for me, I was just laying down, just doing the prayer, just watching, and it was like an hour in, because I could do it for a long time now. The only way I like to explain it, it's like if everyone got really quiet right now and I just shot a gun. Like that level of reaction to it. It's like an instant thing that just starts to happen. I think that's what's so beautiful about this church, and I know you say it's God, but about like I'm quote unquote here, your teachings or whatever, is that everything that has changed in my life, or all of this stuff that's happening in my life, I didn't do any of it. And I think that's what's so beautiful about it. It's not something that you could think about, or an action you can do. It's just I wouldn't say it's a process. It's just something that just happened to me.
Yeah. You want to respond to that? Okay, good. But let me just say this then about his question. It's not a process. You can die right now if you were ready or you wanted to. It can happen right now. And it's not a process. And so don't have any ideas whether it's a process or not, because those are just fake ideas that lock you in. Because you have an expectation, we have an idea. But it can happen right now. Yes. Did that answer that for you? Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to ask these questions. I have so many, and I don't want to sound like contrarian, but these are genuine questions that I've had.
You're so contrary.
Sometimes.
You are just amazingly
contrarian.
Contrary.
Yes.
But go ahead.
So one, if sin came from the woman because she listened to the serpent,
right?
Why did God cut off the lineage from the father, right? Like Jesus doesn't have a real father.
Jesus doesn't have a real father?
Like a human father, excuse me.
But he does have a real father.
He does have a real father,
And he
yes.
had a human father one time, but he dead.
But he didn't have a biological human father, right? Like the sin of
But
the father
Jesus-
was cut off.
Because Jesus, God sent him spiritually so we could be saved spiritually. We are a spirit.
Mm.
We're not our bodies. And our true father is God, not necessarily our biological father.
Yes, I agree with that.
That makes sense?
It does. I guess, that's just something that's been on my heart, on my
Speak
mind.
up a little bit.
Or that's just been something that was on my heart and mind, just like, because, God cut off the lineage there from, yeah. Like he gave Jesus a womb to be created in, but
What
he
do you
cut
mean
off.
by God cut off the lineage thing? What do you mean by that?
Like Joseph is technically his stepdad, but Mary is his mom.
Were you drinking when you had that?
No.
But our lineage is God.
And yes, I totally understand that. I guess I just get confused about, sin and evil and this idea of like the
What's
devil.
confusing about sin of the heart? Sin is of the heart. Heart is evil, and every human being is evil. They have the nature of the devil until the heart changes. And then the Father will destroy the nature of the devil. What's difficult about that?
No, I agree with all of that. I just, I get confused. Actually, I don't know if confused is quite the right word, but I just I've been doing thinking, I know.
You're about to say you're in your head too much.
Maybe.
No, you are. That question is not a question that you should give 2 seconds about.
I think I know what she means, though.
But it is, I do think it's an important question. Sorry.
And how is it, hold on, Joanna. How is it important?
Because it puts all of the onus on either the man or the woman. And I don't understand that. It just seems like sin came from both.
Oh. What do you understand about it, Joanna?
I don't think it's important. I just think that what she's trying to explain is the sin, you say the sin comes through the mother.
Right.
And, but why is it not coming through the father if Jesus came through the mother? But what I think that means is that Mary was just as a stepmother to Jesus as Joseph was to him, because he didn't come through the sinful way. So there was no cutoff of sin with Joseph. The cutoff sin was also wasn't with Mary either, because Jesus wasn't conceived of sin. So I don't know if that's what you're saying, but that's what I took it as.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I'm glad you understood that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
And you understood her.
I think I did.
I'm glad y'all did.
You're
Because you're in your head and you're thinking about the wrong things. You got to come out of your head. You don't want logical thinking, except for practical reasons. You want spiritual thinking.
Honestly, I thought I was literally trying to logically.
I believe that because it's logical and it sounds right to you because you're in your head, and logical thinking is dumb. Except for practical reasons, right? You want to let logic go, so when the devil tempts you with that kind of thinking, let it pass. You want to understand spiritually, and you have a teacher within, and he will show you all spiritual things. Because you want to live spiritually, you want to walk by the Spirit, you want to live in the Spirit. You don't want to live in the logical. Really. And so But I understand we have a world of logical people, so you're going to have, like Joel said, he understood it, and you understood. So you guys just had a conversation that was logical because you both understood it logically, right? And so, but it did you no good, zero. And that's what the devil wants. Do what you want, but do not hold on to logic, except for practical reasons. Somebody teaching you how to build a house, cook a meal, treat your husband right, that's logical. But do not hold on to logic. Do not hold on to it. Like when we're talking to you, it's logical information we're getting right now, but let it pass through one ear and out the other. All right? Because you up all night trying to figure out Mary. And they said Mary was a virgin. God found a virgin woman and made a virgin man, Jesus, and had a little virgin, I don't know what the daddy was, but that's all was to that story.
I mean, I wasn't up all night thinking about it, but it is something that has been on my...
Yeah, let it pass.
Yeah.
Really. It's not important. But now, if you want to hold on to it, do that kind of thing, you can do that. I'm not telling you not to do it. But logic is, look at the world. The world is living a logical life, and look how messed up it is.
No, I get what you're saying. I guess I really thought I was asking a practical question at the same time. I mean, I guess logic and I mean, yeah.
Speak up a little bit, you're mumbling.
Maybe I'm splitting hairs, but I thought I was asking like a practical, logical question.
Right. You thought like lit.
I thought what?
You thought very nicely. Another second question because of time?
I think I'll leave it right there.
No. I like the question. You're here for that, sir.
Okay. How come we don't read the Bible here?
Why don't read it?
Or like, why don't we go over the Bible here if it's the Word of God?
But we're going through the Bible. Every time we talk, we're talking about the Bible. And the Word of God is in our hearts. The Word from God is in the Bible, like a letter from God.
Yeah.
But the Word of God is in your heart. And that's what you should be living by, the Word of God. What do you think about that?
I think I need to process it. Because there's just so many verses in the Bible that I don't understand. And I mean, totally honestly, I've always appreciated going over it at church. And even when Jesus faced the devil, like he knew the Word of God. And so when the devil would misinterpret the Word, Jesus was like, that's not what the Bible means.
So did Jesus know the Word of God by reading the Bible?
Or did he? Okay, that's a good question.
And what do you say?
He knew the Word of God because it was on...
I'm sorry?
He knew the Word of God because it was in his soul?
It was, yeah. He already knew it was within. Same thing with you, it's already within, but you don't trust that. You trust the Bible. You trust the outer source and not the inner source. You want to live from the inner world.
But isn't it within?
I'm sorry?
I think I'm overthinking right now. Yeah, I think I need to process some of this.
Daryl, can you understand it? No.
I think I need more RAM.
More rounds?
RAM.
Rams?
Just kidding.
Okay. But no, I don't mind the question. I'm glad you have questions instead of just come with nothing. But you've read the Bible before, right?
I am slowly reading the Bible. It's a slow read.
Yeah, take your time. Yes.
I just want to add to what she's saying. I read the Bible every day, and I have been doing that for about 3 years. And since I started coming here and understanding the concepts you're giving us,
right,
my Bible reading, my comprehension of the Bible has changed dramatically.
Yeah.
I'm just adding that to her, so maybe that...
And tell her why.
Well, because now when I read the Bible, I'm looking at it completely different than I did before.
Yeah.
Before it was more ego, I was way too caught up in my thoughts.
Yeah.
And now I read these stories with a complete different mindset.
Absolutely.
And I understand them completely different. Because I just read cover to cover, so I keep going around and it's a
Have you
different
read
book.
the entire Bible before?
Yeah, a bunch of times. I'm on my 4th time around in the last 3 years.
The whole Bible?
The whole Bible, cover to cover. I don't break it up. I just cover to cover.
But why you have to read it so many times, completely times?
I don't, but it's something that I do, and it doesn't harm anybody, and I enjoy it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But it is different now. I
Yeah,
understand
right,
it
you see it.
completely different.
Yes,
And I
absolutely.
know that because I read that story last year before I started coming here, and it's like I didn't read it before.
Yeah, because you have the teacher within now,
Exactly.
and he's causing you to know.
Yeah. Like this question she's asking, I have the answer. I'm not going to give it to her, but I have the answer.
Oh, give it to her.
I can't. She has to get it.
Oh, okay.
On her own.
Sorry.
I know that
She
much.
got it from. She got it from Joel. Yeah. Yes, Raymond.
Earlier, you asked why don't we contribute, ask questions or contribute more to this fellowship? Now, I can't answer for anyone here, and if I could be, for all I know, I could be wrong. But in my case, I look at myself and ask myself, what do I possibly have that I can offer here? And whenever I do. I look at my life, it's not very special or important. So so I keep when I look at my life and look at myself one day at a time, I ask myself, what can I offer to this fellowship that hasn't been offered here?
Okay. Thank you. And you have nothing?
In my view, I have nothing.
Okay, you sound like Jesus. But what I have, I give it to you. That's right. Wendy Houston. What? Yes. Did I see your hand?
Yes.
Okay.
On what Lee J was saying, if I may nitpick here, because you're saying she should drop the logic, but I gotta say I think she already did, and that's the problem. There's actually no logic. Think about it. She's saying she's going to something that happened with Jesus to make a point about what happened with Adam and Eve and sin. That's not logical. That's devoid of logic. So I think that's the problem here. That wasn't logical. But anyways, can I say what I learned about? Yeah, it's not logical. Nobody sees that. Come on.
I take a drink.
And also, it wasn't logical to say.
This is really wine. Jesus made it this morning. Now I'm playing. This is water.
And then when you say the logic of living the words in the Bible and really understanding them, it's just like that makes no sense. The logic that you live with is gone. I need to go to the Bible. But anyways, can I say what I learned about hope and faith?
Yes.
Okay. I looking at myself and wondering if I have faith and hope. I can't. Anything I think up, anything I come up with, anything I think of and see with myself, there's no hope. There's no faith, because it's flimsy. It changes. It goes away. It's not what that word means. Anytime whatever I kind of think about myself, so yeah, it's flimsy. It goes away. And you know what? I guess if I may, on hope, actually, what I meant to say is I'm full of it. I'm full of this hope.
So you do have hope?
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it more.
But you don't have faith?
Right.
Oh,
and
okay.
And I'm full of this hope and I just stay hoping. And it's just like you just stay hoping.
Where'd you get it from?
From my mind or something. It's just like you just stay hoping. And I hear that a lot.
You know hope is dope?
Hope is for dopes. This kind of hope. This kind of hope is for dopes, I think. Because we're just sitting here hoping. And I hear it. I hear it even here. They're like, oh, I'm just waiting and seeing, Jesse. I'm just saying things we heard. Just hoping. It sounds like a stuck word. when you put it like that.
Jill, can you explain him?
Wait, I'm almost done.
Do you understand what you just said?
But yeah, I don't like. I can't say I have that, whatever that word means, the deepness of it. But what I'm trying to say now is that.
Make a long story short because of time.
Yeah, we just stay stuck in hope. And oh, you know what? There actually is like you know how the people talk about hope and faith. Like, I have faith in God, hope. And it sounds like nice and all that. I think they're not lying. There is like a true hope and a true faith, but it's not worth talking about. It's not worth giving it any word, any mention. You give it a moment of attention, of this human ego attention, it's gone. It's not even real anymore.
Okay, thank you. Yes, and then here and no one else. Yes, Jesse, your hand up?
Yep.
Okay.
One thing I kind of realized about hope, couple weeks ago when
You have hope?
I'm on the fence now because of what I saw. So I'll tell you what I saw, and then that'll kind of explain. So,
make a long story short because we ran out of time here.
Okay. So a couple of weeks ago, what happened a couple of weeks ago? When I heard about it, I was like, I literally felt like I lost all hope. Like, oh man, before I knew what happened or anything. So I'm driving home, and I literally, for a minute, like felt like totally void of hope. Like, this is horrible. What's going to happen now? And I realized how deep in my head about this situation I was, right? So, and then when I saw him raise his hand in there, I was like, totally had hope again. But I saw myself realize that too, right? Because I'm in my head. I was totally in my head about
President
this.
Trump
Yeah.
assassination attempt. So you had hope, and then after the president was shot, you lost hope.
Right.
And then when he raised his hand, you had hope again.
Right. And then I realized how much in my head I was about the
Why
whole
you
thing.
laughing? Oh. Go ahead.
So I realized how much in my head I was about the whole thing, and that's why I'm not sure that hope is something that I want to even have.
Oh, okay.
Because I was up and down. It was a roller coaster ride based off of what I was thinking about the situation.
Okay. Yes.
I'd like to respond to the biblical question regarding hope.
Do you have hope?
So I don't have hope.
You do not? Why not?
Because there's nothing to hope for, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's the same for me. It's the same as praying for a specific thing. I don't know what I want. So as long as I'm doing the silent prayer and just allowing God to order my steps, there's nothing to hope for.
Oh, okay.
And pertaining to why we don't contribute or that, I just wanted to quickly
Pertaining to
comment.
what now?
Pertaining to what you said about contributing,
Yeah.
like asking a question. Well, the
Or
last
at
time,
least come with something.
right, and I'm very talkative. I love to talk,
Yeah,
but I
you're
also
not guilty of this at all. I'm talking to the guilty people.
Oh, okay, because
Yeah.
you did tell me my story was boring that one day, and I still think it's profound.
What
So,
day?
just so you know.
What day?
The one day I was telling you about my whole ear situation, and you said
About
people
what?
don't care, and I said I don't care that the people don't care, and we had this little, back and forth little conversation. It was months ago.
And you still remember?
Yes, because I still think that
the-
conversation, that
'cause it's
story
boring.
was very profound. And
It
if I
was?
tell it again one day, maybe at the women's forum, you'll get the profundity.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure of it.
Well, make sure
I'm really
at the-
surprised you didn't that day. I'm very shocked. Yeah.
Well, make sure at the women's forum you tell us again.
I'm going to-
And let's
yeah.
start when we first start the meeting so we have time for it.
No, yeah. I'm going to retell it. It's going to hit you differently. I just know it. Yeah.
I'll be ready.
All right.
Did you want to say anything, Joseph?
Well, just about like faith thing. I was wondering how to develop that level of faith when we talk, I seen like the stories about like the disciples and like what they went through, and they didn't renounce Jesus' name. And I realized that's part of my problem with dying, is that I don't have faith in God. And if I can have that level of faith that they had, and I don't even necessarily see them physically like how I see you, then I know that I'd be able to go through it, because there's no other way. Or everything that I had to learn, well, I don't want to say learn, but everything that I had to go through with this, I literally had to get like beat into submission to get past it.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that it's kind of hard for me to deal with because I don't have faith.
But what you don't realize is that the only way you will develop, the only way that you will know God, you're going to have to die without faith. You have to die in fear. You have to die in loneliness, worry, doubt, emotions. You're going to have to die in that. And while you're dying through that, God is going to save you from it. Then you shall know God. You're not going to die as long as you think you know God. Anyone that think they know God already and think that they have faith in God, not going to die, because they're on an ego trip and they've been deceived by the devil. And you are, that fear that you have about going completely through this thing is of the devil, and it's the devil that's trembling in those times that you're going through this, and it's not you. The devil is afraid of dying, meaning that he's afraid of having to leave you, because the devil lives in human beings. And if you gotta let this happen, you gotta let fear and everything overtake you, then you will see God, he will save you from it. And that's what he wants to save you from. He wants you to die in fear. He wants you to die in loneliness and not let anything or anyone save you.
But I guess the difference is with fear versus like pain is that I went through pain where I genuinely felt like I was dying, like pain-wise. But the fear is different because it's like an instant reaction. I like, right now, you know, I'm like whatever, because I realize, you know, like what it really is. But when I really look at it, I'm chilling, you know, like nothing's crazy happening. We're all in church right now. But when I'm going through it, it's like a level of, like I'm saying fear, but there's really no words to really describe like how terrifying it really is. Like it genuinely feels like I'm disappearing. And, you know, I don't know. It happened like a little bit, because I was like asking God, like, you know, like, man, like I want this, like, can you just like chill out, man? Can you just like relax? And, but yeah, I just, I can't even name something I never, that I was ever like this terrified about. And I'm not like scared about it like right now, but when I'm actually going through it, it's one of the worst things I've ever.
But yeah, and what you don't know yet is that it's not you that's having the fear. It's not you that's having all these little demonic demons. They are coming from the fear because they're in the fear. All that stuff you fought is part of the fear. And it's not you that's dying, it's the demons that are forced out of you, away from you. And they are dying, if I should use that word, but they are dying from your body to make a home in someone else's body. And so all that you're feeling is not you at all. And when that is gone, the real you will appear.
See,
then you shall know you.
And that's part of the fear, is that like with other things, like with like thoughts and stuff, like you realize something and you're like, oh, but you don't realize you're still in hell. And with this, it's like you're completely going away. I guess one of my questions is,
you are going away.
Yeah, is that
and
why?
That's what every human being is afraid of going away, because they think, well, if I should go away, who will I be? If I should go away, what will I be? Where will I be? But then if you should go away, which is to fake you, the false identity that we all pick up in that fallen state, that's what you do want to go away.
Yeah.
But it doesn't want to go away from you, but it feels like if I should go away, who will I be? if I'm not nothing, right? If I'm not these identities. But that's what you want. You want those things to go away so the real you can come and you stop identifying with the not you.
Yeah, I just, again, I guess it just goes back to, and not to scare anybody or think that I'm crazy, but I guess that just goes
So what
back.
now?
Not to, what I'm about to say is that, I guess it just goes back to the fact of that, why I believe that I'm the devil and stuff is because when I'm going through this, I think that it's me. And, it's just so crazy. It just, whether, like I said, like before, like with other things, like you realize stuff and you're like, oh, that's not me or something. But I didn't realize that this thing is still pretending to be you. Where with this thing that I'm dealing with, it's like, it's just, there's no more, oh, I'm not the fear. It's like I'm disappearing. And I understand what you're saying, but it's just, I've never experienced something that terrifying in my entire life.
Yeah, but do you understand it's not you that is afraid?
I think that's the problem, is that I don't.
Yeah, it's not you. The demon is afraid. Because the demon has no power at all. You just think it does, but it has no power. And now that you have the light, you're forgiven, and the light of God is changing your nature. It's destroying the fake nature. The demon is afraid of that. The demon is trembling and having the fear, and he is appearing in your imagination and emotion, and you start to see him, and he makes you think that it's you, but it's really not you. It's him that's in you, his nature.
And I think it just goes to, because I've been watching for like 3 years, I think it goes into just realizing it for yourself. That I heard you say thousands of times, like you're not your thoughts. But then during the times I believe that I am,
Yeah.
It's just something that I'm looking for a way to realize that I'm not the fear and experience it. And like experience the death part of it while I know that it's not me and die, so it's easier. But for this, it's like, just like when I said about being beat into submission with this stuff, it's just something that I realized that I really have to like be beat into submission that this isn't me. Because even though you're saying it and it does make sense, I still don't truly understand it. Because if I did, then I wouldn't have this problem that I have now.
Right, but don't try to understand it or anything. You just want to be present. You want to start to see, and you are seeing. But don't do anything about it. Don't try to understand it. Don't try to anything, so that you will let this death happen.
Yeah, I guess the example is like when I was going through like the physical pain. I'm just laying in my bed and I genuinely feel like I'm dying, like physically. I know you say before like don't cry out to God or whatever, but I was genuinely confused and I was like, I just said out loud, I was like, God, I don't understand. Like, I want this. Why am I feeling this way? And then he immediately showed me that it wasn't me, and then it kind of whimpered off. But with this, it's just an insane amount of fear. It genuinely feels like you're the one who's dying.
Right, but it's not, I understand, but it's not you. It's just you have identified with it and you think it's you. But do you understand now that you got to let that happen no matter what?
I do understand it. It's just with fear versus the pain. Pain, it's like you're just dealing with it. Fear, it's like I said about like a gunshot. Like if
Right.
It's like an instant reaction. Everyone would feel the gunshot instantly. I don't have like a moment of like with the pain where my body was going through the pain, but I was able to see it. This, it's like I'm in it. There's no seeing it. It's like I actually have to go all the way with it, and that's part of my problem.
Well, no way around it. You just stay with it. Stay with the prayers. Practice being present. And you're going to start getting more and more light and more understanding from the light. And when it happens the next time, hopefully you'll be able to just go through it. But I do want you to know that when you're going through this, the devil's going to have a hissy fit. He's going to have, you know how in those real scary movies, they have the devil's voice and he like screaming and yelling? It's going to be worse than that. And it's just he's gonna pretend to be you, that you are literally dying, but it's not. It's him that's dying. And all those demons that made a home in his fear, because the demons live in the fear, right? They're gonna be screaming and yelling too. Loneliness gonna come, sadness gonna come, all kind of fear gonna, all kind of identities gonna come with that. But the devil's gonna be screaming and yelling. You're gonna feel the pain, the emotions of it, and everything. But you gotta go through it anyway. That's the only way God can save you. And he's trying to save all of us from that, from the false identity.
But I guess that's my question about faith is that I don't have faith because I keep stabbing myself out of it.
Beautiful. You don't have faith, and you don't have hope, and you don't want it. Because it's just something you made up in your mind, and then the devil will use that against you too. Because if you have faith or hope, when the death comes, you wouldn't be afraid of dying. The reason you're afraid of dying is because you have faith, hope. In dying, you got to come weary, lonely, afraid, faith, lonely, everything. You got to come as you are, and what you are now is the nature of the devil. You're weary, you're lonely, you're afraid, you're on some type of ego trip thinking you're this and thinking that you're that, and you have all these false ideas, and you're holding on to those in a false idea of faith. You want to go to God as what is trying to happen to you. You want to go through him in the depths of your hell, in the depths of your misery, in the depths of your whatever you have, looking for love, or your intellect where you think you have it. You want to go to God in the worst of the worst. That's what God is trying to save us from, but you don't have faith in God. You say you believe in God, but you don't. You don't believe in God at all, because if you believed in God, when those moments come like that, you let them happen. But you don't believe in God, and he's trying to show you there is a God, that he is there, and I want to save you from this hell. That is not you. Those identities are not you. It's the false hell in you, and it feels like you because you've identified with it all your life, and now that death has come, you're thinking you're dying. What do you think about that?
I think that's just where I'm at. It's just so crazy. It's just getting to that point because, like I said before, you're like you realize stuff, but yet you think you're still you.
Yeah.
In quotes.
Yeah.
And I'm at that point where I realize that I'm like you had the thing like if you hang on to your life, you'll lose it, but if you give up your life, you'll save it. It's just like one of those things where
Yes.
it's just I understand what you're saying about like what you just said, but yeah, it's just getting to that point where it's just starting to get crazy for me.
Because hell is crazy. And don't think about who you're going to be once you lose this life, right? Because you're not supposed to think not about tomorrow. Don't think about what I'm going to be. Who will I be if I lose this life? You're thinking about tomorrow, and that's what the devil wants you to think. Who will you be if I leave you? If you don't have all these ideas, who will you be? And God said, do not think about tomorrow. Take no thought about it.
When I first heard the identity thing and when I did the whole painting my fingernail thing,
Yeah.
I did think that. But this, it's just like it's not. I'm not thinking that. It's just the realization that I believe that I'm the devil and that I'm just disappearing and that there's just not me. It's just hard to come across. We do the counseling thing, and I say, well, how am I not in control? And I move my body, and it gets to that deep of a level. It is thoughts, it is feelings, it is all these things, but it really, at the end of the day, it's your whole life. It's not just those things. It's all of it.
And it's thoughts and emotion. And thoughts and emotion are not your life. It's just that you've been thinking it was your life. But it's really been hell all your life, thinking that thoughts and emotion were yours. Those are all, that's the nature of the devil. And the world push thoughts and emotion. Everybody should be emotional, blah, 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 right? But they'll worshiping the devil when they tell you that. They'll keep you in hell. So you gotta, stay with it, don't give up. But you gotta, and if you stay with it, though you're getting to it and you're running away back, you're going back, eventually you'll go through it. You just gotta stay with it.
Yeah, because that's something that I had to deal with the pain, with some of my quote unquote vices and stuff. With, you know, I kept running back to them until I had to actually go through the actual pain of not doing those things. And so I do understand what you mean by that.
And do you understand that that's what God is trying to save all us from, is the false nature, the false identity that's in our head and emotion?
I do understand it. It's just with fear, I'm instantly reacting to it. That's the only why I use the example of the gunshot. It's everyone would feel, and you're in a library and I shoot a gun, you're gonna hear it just like that. It's like there's no moment of seeing it. It's like I'm in it, I am it, and all these different things. Right now, I can understand it to a certain degree, but when I'm actually going through it, I just believe it to be me. And not even what I even learned about belief, belief isn't just something that, I believe, or I say that I believe. It's how you live, it's your life. I don't want to say lifestyle, but it's just how you live is belief.
Yeah. Listen, stay with it, man. Stay with it, don't stop. And I understand you get right there, then this fear come, and it's just that you so identify with the false self, you think it's you. And this is why when I talk about the straight and narrow path, most people are not going to get here. Some people even get there, and they'll keep running back from it until finally they say, I don't want this fear. I don't want this doubt. I don't want this. And they'll go back into hell.
That's what was happening with me when those 2 times happened.
Yeah.
And I genuinely felt like I was like actually going insane, and I was looking for a way out. Like I was like, I just want to be done with this and move on with my life and never think about this ever again, because it was just that level of craziness, you know. And, and so
this straight and narrow path is not easy. It's not easy, and it's more than just words. It's more than just learning it. It's more than anything you can imagine. The ego death is a serious thing, and the average person is not going to make it. Just not going to make it, because look where he is right now with it. And he can get right there in the grave and run back. But stay with it. And you're going to eventually see that fear that comes, you're going to see that's not your fear. And the devil doesn't want you to know that. Because you are feeling in the mind and the body, you think that is yours, and now that he's dying like that, he doesn't want to leave you. He and all his little demons, they don't want to leave. So just stay with it and keep doing it.
Yeah, I literally, I realize whenever I go back to my hell, I literally don't have a choice, you know. I'm really like stuck with this, because even though I don't technically, I believe in God, once God took me out of my thoughts and changed a lot of the things in my life, I realized, you know, like this isn't a game. God isn't a game.
That's right.
I'm not the king of the world that I thought I really was, and that I'm the center of the universe, and all these different things. So I know that this is for real, and
it's for real.
I can't. Even though I do go back to my hell, and I go back to Joe and all those things every now and then, I know that that it's not real, and that you know, I can't stay there for long, because I really don't even have a choice anymore.
Yeah, stay with it. All right, stay with it. Just stay with it. And about amnesia, I heard the story from somewhere else, so that's why I know about it. About amnesia, and they were saying that this guy driving down the road, like a truck driver, he stopped at a truck stop, and somehow or another he hit his head. I just showering or something, but he hit his head, and when he hit his head, he forgot where he was going. He forgot the locations. He forgot his way back home. He just forgot everything. And so he got back into his truck and he just drove down the road. But he couldn't remember anything. He couldn't remember where he was going, where he had come from. And so it started to get dark. And when it started to get dark, fear sat in because he didn't know where he was or where he was going. And so he just parked the truck on the road and stopped on the road. And the next morning he got up and got back on the road, but he still couldn't find his way back. He had no idea or anything, so he couldn't find his way back. And that's what it's like for every human being. You have amnesia, and what you have forgotten is the Father, and you have forgotten your way back home. You have forgotten your way back to the Father. And intellectually, you're trying to figure out how to do it. You're trying to learn. That won't work. You're trying to learn by being emotional. That won't work. Or being angry or whatever, doing good things for people. That won't work. You have forgotten God, and the only way that you're going to remember Him, you got to stay present, and then you got to die from the delusion. You do have amnesia. Because before you were traumatized, before you were hit upside the head, right? Before you were traumatized spiritually, you knew the Father. You knew your way home. You knew the Father. But once you were traumatized spiritually, you forgot the Father. And you forgot your way back home. Every human being has amnesia. And so I'm encouraging you, I wanted to say a little bit more about it, but because of time I can't. I'm encouraging you that if you want it, it's up to you. You literally got to work on this. You can't play with it. As you just heard, it's a serious thing, but not a serious thing to freak out. It's real. The devil is not kidding, and the devil does not want you to find your way back home. He wants to keep you on that lost road and pretending that this is the way home, and you're never going to get home. A wife or a husband's not going to do it. Money is not going to do it. Friends are not going to do it. Jobs are not going to do it. Read the Bible is not going to do it. You got to get on this straight and narrow and let the light guide you to it. And you got to be serious about it. Don't just, I throw you these biblical questions out to try to get you to at least focus on yourself during the week. And I'm telling you that the more you focus on you, it will get to a point that it's going to become the greatest joy ever to know you, to live from within, to know the internal world instead of the outer. You're going to know both. You're not at work, the outer world as well, but you want to know how to live from within. But you gotta stay present, because the devil doesn't want to leave you. He's always talking to you. He's always making you feel things, one thing or another. And he will put other evil demons in your life to make you overreact too, to make you feel something. Because demons love demons. They hate each other, but they love it. So you do have amnesia. Because if you didn't have the amnesia, you'd already be home. You'll already be there, and you will be free. And you have no pain, no sorrow. And do y'all understand now that what he talked about today is what God is trying to save you from? Is that a little bit clearer? He's trying to save you from the very thing that you're trying to stay with. You say you want God to save you, but when loneliness comes, instead of staying in the loneliness, what do? You make a phone call. When sadness comes, instead of staying in the sadness so he can save you from, which is hell, you turn the TV on, or you go to a party, or you go somewhere, right? Or when you're like, this is a good one. Everybody guilty of this one. When the desire comes to have the third word, S with the X in it. Y'all know what that is, right? Instead of going through that and staying with it, what do? You go and find somebody to do it with. And then what do you tell yourself once you do it? I just can't help it. I just couldn't help myself. I don't know what's wrong with me. You're not trusting God. You don't have faith in God. Because if you have faith in God, when the X come, you'll go through the pain. You'll die from it. You'll go through it. And then it will no longer control you. And when you do get married, it will be in moderation. You'll make babies. But you won't do it for a thrill. You won't do it for a thrill. You'll do it to make babies. And yet you will have a thrill because you have to have some emotion to do that with, especially men, right? But it won't be your identity at all. You got to stop letting the devil tell you, oh, I just couldn't help myself. I don't know why. You're worshiping the devil. So you got to die. And you are unconscious. Every human being, until the heart change, it wakes you up. And then you start to see that old nature. Any question about this? Any question about what you heard about his story? Yes.
Well, I do have a question because he did prompt this for me. Lately, when I've been doing the silent prayer, I have felt a presence in the room, like a sure and certain presence, and it's frightening. It really is. And like, can these things do anything? Like, because it does pull me out of the silent prayer. So,
right.
And I've been doing my best to push through it. But this is a recent occurrence, and it's amping up.
When that happens, do nothing. Let it happen.
And just do my best to stay in the silent
You
prayer.
just stay with the silent prayer and watch this thing happening. All right? I was sleeping the other night like a virgin. And all of a sudden, the devil came in the room, and he was trying to choke me. He was literally trying to choke me. And I'm like, what the? And I can see his dark spirit. He was trying to choke me, and I'm like, what the? And then he laughed.
I mean, that's what I mean. Can they do it? So they can actually touch you and stuff like
No,
that?
you can feel his presence. You feel in the presence of darkness. But he has no power. He can't do anything.
Okay.
But you do feel the presence of darkness. Yes.
I want to add to that.
Okay.
Are dreams like kind of the same thing? Are
Yes.
Okay.
All darkness.
Yeah, because I was having not good, but I was just having a mellow week. And then I think it was 2 days ago, I had a crazy dream. And it woke me up, and I was just like, wow. But I didn't really think too hard about it. I just kind of realized it was a crazy dream. But is that
You just unconscious. In your sleep, you unconscious. And being in an unconscious state, the devil came. That's all it was.
Okay.
Yeah. But the Christian would tell you, oh, that was a dream from the Lord. Let me go down to that big house down there and let them interpret my dream because that was from the Lord. The Lord told me to tell you this.
Yeah.
And it's all hell.
I had one more question.
Yeah.
Where does discipline come in all this? Is that just another fake identity?
What now?
Where does discipline fit into this?
It's fake.
Fake.
Yeah. As you're dying from the fake self, you're going to find yourself naturally doing all things in moderation. You're going to have self-control without you being in control. Really. Because God loves us. He's here. He's now. He loves us. And He's going to guide you. He'll give you everything you need. Control and everything.
All right.
But you got to stay present.
Got it.
Amazing. Real fast, Rankin. Real fast.
So I've had some dreams like that. Wake up screaming and yelling, fighting. And so as soon as I wake up, I say, oh, okay, it was just a dream.
It's all demonic because you're unconscious. You're unconscious. And so when you stay conscious and the devil come like that, you're going to be like, what the? But you won't be afraid or anything because now the light is shining. The Father loves us. He really does, but we got to let go so He can guide us and love us. And yes.
So you can be unconscious while doing the silent prayer because I am conscious. I feel like I am conscious in that moment.
No, but in that moment when you are doing the prayer and you are conscious, whatever is happening, the devil come or you feel fear or whatever, you just Stay with the prayer and watch it happen.
And just don't focus on him at all. Just
No,
focus on.
that's right.
Like try to focus on a sound in the room or
Well, I don't know what
something.
you mean by try to focus, but you just stay with the prayer, and if you're aware of the thoughts, just stay aware of the thoughts.
Okay.
And if the devil comes, just say, what the? Really, don't be afraid. He has no power. And don't be afraid to go through the death, man. He has no power. And that's him that's dying. That's him that's doing this. It is not you at all. And that fear is his fear. Do you understand that? I know it feels like... So what now?
I know you're saying, but it's just crazy when you're actually going through it.
It is, because...
I believe it to be me.
Because the whole world is insane. The whole world is crazy. So you're looking at craziness. And it feels crazy because it is crazy. But that's the death. Do not be afraid of it. God doesn't want you to be afraid of dying. And it's not you that's afraid. It's the devil that's afraid.
I understand what you're saying. It's just like an instant reaction, and I believe it to be me because I am reacting to it. And that's part of the problem, is that I was trying to find a way to see the fear and quote unquote die without me thinking that it's me. Versus
I know why it's such an instant thing, because you're unconscious in that very moment. That's why God said, pray without ceasing. So at all time you can be conscious. No matter what you're doing, you can be conscious. And so you're unconscious. That's why it's such a quick shock to you. It feels like a bullet going through you, right? Because you're unconscious. But if you were conscious and that death came, you'll be fine. You'll deal with it in a different way.
Okay.
Yeah, so practice being conscious.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you, you know. This literally changed my... I know you say it's God or whatever, but this literally changed my whole life. And, you know, I flew all the way out here because there's literally not a church like this in the entire world. And there's even a church that was nearby me that's like your, you know, like fellowship shipping thing. And it's just like every other church, you know. And there's literally not like a church like this in the entire world. So just thank you.
You're welcome. Stay with it, man. How old are you?
I just turned 26 like a couple months ago.
A couple months ago?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. You got competition, Hake. Okay, well, stay with it, but practice staying conscious so you won't be in such a shock. You won't burn. All right? I'm out of time. It's amazing. Look, I'm telling you, it's not easy, but you got to want it. You got to want heaven and be sick of hell. It's up to you, right? So stay with the silent prayer. Don't let the devil give you any excuses about anything, right? And try not to go with your vices, but if you do, I hate saying this but if you do, be aware. It's the consciousness that will change it, all right? Take the desire away. But stay with that. Do the silent prayer. Watch without stopping. Prayer without ceasing means to stay present. And you can, but you got to work on it. Even if you have to go in and out of it 800 times a day, you still come back to present, all right? And after a while, it's going to get easier and easier. You'll love it. You'll love working on yourself, don't worry. We'll do the super chats tomorrow, right? Hey, yeah, we'll do the super chats tomorrow. What else? Oh, we need your support. Help us make it through the summer financially. So make a real donation today. Don't make a pretend one. So go and make a real summer donation. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/donate or call 800-411-BOND. And I want you to work on yourself so that when we all get together, we help one another. All right? We become witnesses. So work on yourself. Don't play around. But don't freak out serious. But don't play around with it. Thank you all. I'm out of time. I think that's it. I don't have the biblical question this week. Hopefully tomorrow or whenever the Lord give me one. Sometimes he moves kind of slowly. But he's always on time, as the Christians would say. So I'm out of time. Bye. Thank you all.